Hello, gorgeous ones. I wanted to come in today and speak about my next offering, my next round of soul activation training. This is my firstborn, my firstborn training that I offered quite a few years ago now, and it's definitely something that I still hold near and dear to my heart. It's really, really sacred work, really, really important work, really, really life-changing work. And I don't say that from a conceited way. I say it from the women that I've witnessed that have committed to this process and committed to this work and committed to this training. Anyone that actually commits and does the work and trusts in the process will reap the benefits. And the previous trainees that have joined me have done that and much, much more. And it's been such a privilege to witness and privilege to be a part of as the teacher and participant within it. It's quite powerful, to say the least. And when there's a united front and a group of people or group of women that come together with that intention, we can move mountains. And I do not say that lightly either, because we really, really can. And so this work and my offering and this particular occasion, the Soul Activation Training Level 1, used to be 6 weeks. I've decided to make it and have the luxury of time, not because 6 weeks didn't work. It did. It was powerful and all guns are blazing. But myself personally, over this time, I've really savored and wanted the luxury of time and had that extended period of time where we really get to sit in more deeply and sit into the process and sit in that space with each other to go more deeply and to have that exploration and self-discovery that happens in that time, be it 6 weeks or 3 months. But in this occasion, it's 3 months. And it's a powerful, powerful time of, I give you foundational practices that you get to do on your own in your own process to create that foundation and create that solid factor to keep coming back to lean in on. My intention with this work and my intention with all of my work is so that you have the space and the time and the discovery of yourself, so that whenever you leave, however you leave the training or however you work with me, you leave that space in a way that you have that ingrained knowing and ingrained remembering of who you are and how powerful you are, and to really help you move through the wounded and the shadow elements of yourself. By shadow, I mean the parts that have been rejected, the parts that have been denied, the parts that have not been processed, the parts that have not been loved in a really safe, measured, thoughtful way that takes you and your individual needs into account, as well as the group as a whole, and really start to prompt and bring on your divine intelligence, not because your intelligence of your mind isn't really of benefit or really, really powerful either. Of course it is. But what I've seen and what I continue to see is the imbalance of that. And ideally the one that's driving the car would ideally be the one that's sitting in the back seat rather than the front. And so this work, my work, is to help that start to happen, so that there's a respect and there's a balance, but there's also a knowing of who should be at the front and who should be at the back, and who ideally, which roles would be at play to help you as the individual that you are really flourish and really embrace and know yourself on a much, much deeper level, and to start peel back those layers of yourself and the versions of yourself and integrate them, so that you can become more confident and more self-aware and more self-assured and insightful in that way and empowered in that way. And so this process is really helping you to understand your energy, your innate energy, your individual energy, and how to work with it, as well as how to translate energy as a whole. You might go, why would I want to do that? Reason being is because when you understand energy and you understand how you individually translate energy, you start to see and you start to feel and you start to know the other part of the conversation, the other part of the way that we communicate, that is the most potent and powerful way that we communicate. We as human beings have prioritized the spoken language as the dominant form of communication for such a long time, and we've conditioned ourselves to no longer connect to or understand our energetic knowing and energetic, that we are energetic beings first and physical second. And that has done us it's done us harm, to be honest. It's done us no favors, as it were. And so my role is to help you bring that innate knowing back online to help you have that wider scope of view, that wider knowing that you innately have, and to sit solid and confident in that. Not to necessarily come out and be energetic seeings or energetic workers or seers or whatever the case may be, unless you wanted to and wanted to start going down that path, and I'm more than happy to help you with that. But I'm actually working, or my intention in these trainings is to help you as a human on a holistic level, to support you mentally, emotionally, physically, energetically, and all the facets of you in between that, to start to bring in this embodied self, so that it starts to support you not only in your personal life, but in your professional life. It touches on every single aspect of your life, external and internal first, external second, and brings in this remembrance. I've had women after women just say, I've never felt so safe. I've never felt so seen. I've never felt so held in these spaces. And safety is such an essential part of it, because if we're not safe to access these parts of ourselves, it actually can create discombobulation of ourselves or disorientation of ourselves, and actually does favors. And so this work is to do it in such a deliberate, intentional, clear, grounded, concise way that allows it to happen as and when it aligns with you as the individual that you are, and giving you practices and processes and a multitude of supports. So you have my support, you have a Facebook group support, you have the support of a trio that I put you in within the group, and you also have a Facebook group that you come into regularly, that I give you prompting questions, and I do lives, and we do, we really connect in that way, as well as meeting weekly for our trainings, and then alternately for Q&A and so on throughout that time. It is a commitment. It's only 3 months though. So it's a commitment for 3 months, and it's a commitment that, you'll reap the benefits from for the rest of your life. And I'm trying to think of what year I started my first one, but they're still reaping the benefits of it now. They're still unpacking and receiving the gifts of that time together now. So, you can think, 3 months, it's such a long time. But in the grand scheme of things, that 3 months has a ripple effect that goes on and on and on out into your life and out beyond what the mind can comprehend at this time. The mind will keep you kind of here and keep it limited. And here, where my work is to help you connect to the bigger view, the bigger field, not to bypass or dismiss the human, but include it in that safety and that sense of willingness and confidence and security in doing that, and trusting in the all-being, all-knowing self. Yeah. And when you start to do that, and you bring that to your life and you bring that to your work, you meet it and you see it in a very different lens, in a lens and in a way that actually activates more knowing and more seeing you, and opens opportunities that before you saw nothing, or you thought the door was closed. You start to decipher and discern, either that door's open, it always was, I just couldn't see it before, or there's no door there, or the door's not open to me because this door's open to me. And you're trusting yourself within relationships, within your offerings, within your work, starts to exponentially change and evolve in a way that you might have even known was possible until you do this work. And so this time together starts to not only open it, but provide the beautiful foundation for you to bloom to your beautiful self and reclaim yourself as you were innately created to be. Not because the self that you've been isn't amazing, but it brings on these parts and these pieces of you that are just going to support you so much, and give you this knowing and this all-seeing and all-knowing and all-feeling self, but in a way that you're not flooded, but then in a way that you feel held. Yeah. And so that's what this training is about, is knowing yourself as you originally were and originally are, not despite who you are now, but inclusive of them. And exploring and finding and discovering all these pieces of yourself is just such a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful experience to be a part of, and to do and to show up for. And I only work with those that are committed. I've had quite a few people apply for this particular training. I've only accepted 4 at this point. I have 2 places left. They're very small, intimate groups. They're only 6 women. I used to make them 14, and then I've looked at quality over quantity, and what I want for myself and what I want for the women that are part of it. And those intimate groups, you really have a lot of one-on-one time. You have a lot of time where you get to meet yourself and feel yourself and meet those women and vice versa, as well as me within that space. And it's really powerful experience. So if you get the nudge, or you get the feeling, yeah, that's me, or I'm just curious about it, I don't know, I'd like to speak to you about it, please reach out. Or if you're like, it's a yes, I'd really love to be part of it, it's ding, 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 yes, please, reach out and we'll touch base and see if it is the right fit for you. And you can ask any other questions that you might have. But yeah, we start in July, the end of July. So if you've been looking for something, or you've just been feeling there's something there, hello, this could be it. And if it is, I welcome you wholeheartedly. I really look forward to running another offering of this training. It's every time it just surprises me. Every time it's, although the foundational practices are the same, the experience is so unique to each group and the women that sign up at that time, because we're working with different energy of the current energy. We're working with different versions of ourselves. And that in itself is a really exciting thing to be part of. So trust your nudges and trust yourself. If it's a yes, yay. If it's a no, that's okay too. But feel into that for yourself. Yeah. All right. Sending you so much love, and I look forward to touching base again soon. Bye.